Alright guys, welcome to the debut episode of This Shit Really Happened. Things you saw in movies that really happened. Alright, this is episode 1. We're going to take a look at Wolf Creek and some of the stuff that we found here. I got on a website, give them credit here, www.outback-australia-travelsecrets.com, Wolf Creek True Story. Alright. So again, everybody, welcome to the very first episode of This Shit Really Happened, where we'll take a look at true stories of horror movies, whether it be a 100% true story or just a taste of a true event behind it. I'm your host, Terry Koenig, and today we're going to take a look at the true story behind the pretty decent horror flick Wolf Creek. Some people call it torture porn, but there's no nudity, no nude chicks, no sex, and there's violence, but in no way is this a torture porn. Alright, so is this flick 100% based in true story? No. The screenplay was written before the crimes took place, and when the filmmaker heard of the crimes, he took bits and pieces of it and added it to his script from reports I found here. So what really happened? The true story of Wolf Creek happened about 2,000 kilometers from Wolf Creek National Park, and not in Western Australia, but in Northern Territory. On July 14, 2001, British tourist Peter Falcano and Joni Lees, who eventually went on to write the book of the story, traveled on the Stuart Highway from Alice Springs in the direction of Darwin. It was nighttime. Roughly halfway between Alice Springs and Tennant Creek, just outside Barrow Creek, a mechanic called Bradley, John Murdoch, managed to make them pull over and told them they saw sparks coming from their exhaust of their van. Peter went to the back of the van with Murdoch to have a look, and Joni was asked to rev the engine. She later said she thought she heard a shot. Then Murdoch, holding a gun, came to her window. He bound her hands and dragged her into his four-wheel drive. He then disappeared for a while. It is assumed he dealt with Peter's body during that time. That's when Joni managed to escape. She hid in the bush as Murdoch was searching for her along with his dog. Eventually he gave up. She waited there for hours, making sure he was gone and was not coming back. She finally staggered back onto the highway. Two truck drivers stopped and helped her. Murdoch was caught in the largest Northern Territory police investigation ever. He had been in Alice Springs the same day as Joni and Peter, and he had also visited the same fast food outlet. Whether he targeted them at random or followed them from Alice Springs is still not known. He claims he wasn't even near Barrow Creek and had taken the Tenemy Road instead, a rough bush track from Alice Springs to Western Australia. It runs past Wolf Creek National Park. Many questions still remain. No weapon or body was ever found. The motive is unclear too, but speculation revolves around paranoia and aggression, included by his heavy amphetamine use. Murdoch is self-confessed drifter, drug runner, and regularly transported large amounts of cannabis between Alice Springs and Broome in Western Australia. His lawyers couldn't explain how his DNA ended up on the makeshift handcuffs that Joni was tied up with if he'd been nowhere near her. After a 2-month trial, he was found guilty in December 2005. The verdict was by the jury was unanimous. Murdoch will serve at least 28 years of his life sentence unless his appeal, which was denied in 2007, was successful. Alright, so there you go, guys. That is the true story behind Wolf Creek, or This Shit Really Happened. So where do you guys think? So there you go, guys. That was a true story which Wolf Creek was based on. Which do you find more frightening, the real story or the movie? Shoot me an email, let me know, paranormala@gmail.com. So that is the first episode. This is going to be following Reviews from the Shadows every month. I hope you guys enjoy it. And remember, guys, next time you're watching a horror flick, sometimes that shit really happened. Make sure you leave a light on, lock your doors, and that's it for this month again, guys. Thanks for joining us. Hope you enjoyed the show, and if you have any requests of movies you want us to take a look at, the true story behind them, again, let me know, paranormala@gmail.com. Later.